Welcome to Sodo Creations, where we make your imagination a reality. Today, I'm going to show you how you can design a graduation column, but of course, you can always change the colors and make it how you want it to be. You see my mouth moving so much here because I actually hooked up my mic and it said it was recording with this video because I wanted it to be more of a live tutorial. But once I sat down to edit, there was no audio. Sadly enough, the audio is in my outro. I did a full intro and recorded everything showing you steps, but it didn't record. And I'll talk more about that later. But here I am doing the voiceover. I am inflating these balloons. I have the reflex gold and reflex silver, and I'm also going to use the onyx black. So my first size there is a 9, and I have 2 pairs that I connected together to form the silver, the gold you're seeing on my left side, your right. Now I'm going to move on to the black, and with the black, I want to size it to about, I think that was a 7. My balloon sizer doesn't have half inches, so it has 1 through 9, but I am going to link in my Amazon storefront bigger balloon sizers that you can get that have the half inch, and I'm also probably going to purchase one because I have some designs that I want to do in the future that will require me to use a half. So you can check that out. But I have mine already linked there. I'm sure some of you have seen it already. I'm just showing you how you tie your pairs together. So with mine right there that you see on the floor, it's collapsible. I can take it apart and it becomes all pretty much, I have 6 pieces and I just stack them and put it in my balloon bag, which is pretty handy. And that's why I like that. But I'm going to have a bigger one that is going to have half sizes, the same design, just slightly longer. If you have the space for it, then that would work. But I find that this slides perfectly in my balloon bag. Now, on my left side are the balloons that I'm going to put on the bottom, and the right side has the balloons I'm going to put on the top. So the left side will have 9 inches, 8 inches, and 7 inches, and the left side will have 7 and 8 inches. The balloon pump I just showed you, that blue one, is the one that I used to inflate my 260Q. It has a higher pressure that allows you to inflate it better. Of course, you can also use a manual pump, but I find this a lot easier than trying to pump. Some of the balloons tend to be really tight, so this works really well for the 260Q. And you see me inflate one. I think I end up using 2 blacks and 1 silver. So 1 silver, 1 gold, and 2 black. So I have these 2 here. I sped up the video just a little bit because I realized when I'm talking, obviously it's going to take more time than if I speed it up and I have to do a voiceover. But let me know if you want me to do live tutorials. I'll try that again. So now we have a black and a gold, and you're going to tie them together and then twist it just how you would twist a quad. So you have that in place. Now let's assemble the base or the main area of our column. So you have the 9 on the bottom, you push it down. I don't have to put anything to cover the base because it's black. Now you're going to twist the silver on and make sure it's overlapping with the gold. Next, you're going to add the black, which will be pretty much aligned with the gold, but overlapping with the silver. Now we're going to work on our pole cover. I'm sliding this through here and I'm going to make it come through. Then I realize the black is all together on the same side. I try here to twist it around to see if I can make it work, and it doesn't. So I'm taking it apart and I'm going to rearrange how I slide it in. So however you're wanting the design to twist on, see how I have the black alternating in between the gold and the silver. Then you slide that back in, lift it up in between the black balloons because it's under the black balloons. Now you're holding 2 pairs, 2 with 1 black, 1 silver, and then the silver and gold. So I'm just twisting that as I go up. Make sure you're paying attention and not letting it unravel, especially at the bottom. I think I have my foot holding it in place. You're going to keep twisting till you get to the end. Then I'm coming closer to show you what I'm doing. I twist, and then I'm going to tie those two together. You're tying the two that you were twisting together first, and then hold it in place. Twist your other two, that is the black and the silver that you were tying together as well. I'm going to pop that one. That allows me to now tie everything together to secure it in place. Then I'm going to pop the others as well and tie everything at once. So I'm twisting it around, getting it nice and secure. That is how you create that swirl around your pole, and it's all secure. You can see some gaps. Depending on how you twist it is how much of the swirl you're going to have. This is kind of a loose swirl, but I like this because it covers more of the pole. Initially, my design, I wanted to have kind of that frame where people can stand behind the pole and take pictures, but I ended up making it too tall. Now I'm twisting the silver into the black. I think you saw that. It might have been a little fast, but it's twisting on, and then I'm going to just secure that on the top of the pole using one of the 260Q that I popped from swirling earlier. Get that on there as secure as we can. We still have a topper to work with, but I need to adjust because you can see how my silver is not aligned. So we're going to tie that all in place, and then I'll get everything nice and twisted on. I was saying I try to do the voice recording where it's live, but sometimes this is probably the third or fourth. I remember when I was announcing my balloon classes and I had to record so many times just because it wasn't working. But now we have everything in place. I'm going to show you the top. We need a topper. This is where I wanted to put that frame, but see how my height doesn't really go. If I put the frame on top, you won't be able to see. That is the frame foil balloon I was going to put, but you can see where it needs to be a lot lower. So I'm going to make another design, probably post later this week or on Sunday again, another design. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss that video. I'll have some color to that one, not the classic graduation colors. That will have some orange to it. So we'll go with orange and black to match the frame. So I found this other topper. I have a lot of foil balloons for graduation, and I realized I bought them in 2003 and haven't been able to post or record all the videos I wanted to record. So I'm posting a few here. Let me know if there are specific graduation designs you want to see. I have a big setup coming up in a couple of weeks with some emerald green, and we're doing 2 big backdrops and a full decor setup, not at the venue, it's outside the venue, but I will record how I prep for that and get all that ready. So those are just a few things coming up. So make sure you are subscribed and you click the notification bell so you don't miss it. You might be surprised. If you don't click the bell, you might miss the video when I post it, but that will be later in May because I still need to work on my design. I can't wait for this one coming up, the Mother's Day backdrop. I've been planning this for a few weeks and I just got some of my florals in for that. So I'm excited to get that posted in a couple of weeks as well. So here I am inflating some stars, creating some filler balloons just with the 5-inch balloons, creating quads of that with the gold, the reflex silver, and the black, of course. So we're going to start working on this topper. I saw this one and it matches the colors perfectly. So I'm getting my 260Q, helping at the same time to refill my stock there because I was completely out. So I have more to use next time. I remember when Matt and I went to do the Sweet 16, we were out of the 260Q and I had to think on the spot and fix the problem. We made it work, but that's never a good feeling and never a good situation. So here I am inflating the topper for this one. I like this because it has so many positive sayings, especially for the person graduating, a lot of encouraging words. You might have seen the short that I already posted about it, but we are going to get this on. We're going to use a 260Q to attach this on. There are several ways you can attach it. You just go and tie that 260Q from the middle all around, and you're going to double knot it so that it stays in place. So you're going to do a couple of ties, and that's how you get that secure. And you have two loose ends there where you're just going to pull that through and wrap it around the middle. Once I put this on, then I realized I don't want that hole in the middle, but also I want everybody to be able to read the words on the foil balloon. It's pointless putting this foil if people can't read the words that are on there. So I'm going to go ahead and use a smaller set of balloons. I believe I end up using the 5-inch balloon, inflating that to probably a 4.5-inch, and creating a quad with the gold. Since we already have the silver and the black there, I'm going to attach this there in the middle and then put my design, my foil balloon on top of it. This way I have some height, but it's not blocked, and it's a smaller, since the balloons are smaller, it prevents you, it allows you to read the words and prevents the foil balloon from going all the way down. So I'm attaching that here. You can use 260Qs, you can use rubber bands, or you can just tie by the necks, which is what I did. Now we can attach this, and you see the words there at the bottom. You're just going to wrap it around. Remember, we have 2 strands on each end, so you're going to wrap that around towards the back. Just keep twisting around, and then you're going to move on to the other strand if you can find it, and then wrap that around as well. Then that is nice and secure. Now you can leave your column just as it is. At this point, I realized the design was blending too much with my backdrop, so I move it to this white wall so you can see what I'm doing. I was saying you can leave this design as is, or you can add more, which is what I'm going to do, because this is a YouTube channel to teach you different designs. So I figured I would continue, but it's up to you how you want to design it. And with this, I'm adding more foil balloons. I'm adding filler balloons in the 5 inches. I'm adding stars, and this will change the structure of our column, because you're not going to have that post or that pole anymore. You're going to have more of an organic balloon column, and you can add as much as you want. I'll add even spiral balloons as well, which is something I haven't done in a while. It took me so much practice to get it back and remember how to do it, but I'll show you guys here shortly. Now stepping back to make sure, even though I make the organic balloon columns, I still want some symmetry or some kind of design where it's not just looking like the wind blew it to the right or left. At least we have some order to the design. That is just my way of designing items. Now I'm attaching the 260Q like I did with the top foil balloon, leaving the loose ends, but this time tying those loose ends together to form that loop. And this makes it easy to just slide that on, and then I can adjust the foil balloon the direction I want it to go. So you can twist it around and just attach it where you want. I was saying there's several ways of attaching foil balloons. I'll link my other short video how I show you how you attach, or another video how I attach foil balloons. I think it was on the strawberry backdrop for Lola's birthday party. So now I'm twisting this on. This method, I just tied half of a 260Q on each end of the foil balloon, and that allows me to twist that on. So adding some of that gold star with the silver star to give it just more dimension, right? You can keep going, add as much as you want. You can add clear balloons. You can even add some balloons with helium on to just give it more volume, more structure. I'm thinking about probably designing one that's more of a balloon, not a balloon bouquet, but kind of a balloon stand. Just let me know if you're interested in that, and I can make a tutorial on that. A while back, someone asked me about creating something like that. Here I am testing the mic. I see that the green light is on, so I think it's recording, but it's actually not. So I'm going to inflate this 260Q, then deflate it. That allows me to create this spiral. And I have these heavy duty clamps. You guys have seen this before. I'm just going to circle this around this vacuum hose. And once it's in place, then I'll hold it as smooth as I can and just inflate it, making sure that pole doesn't turn. So I keep inflating till I know it gets to the end. Then I can twist it a little more and just hold on to it for a few seconds, pulling it together, and then it's pretty much done. So then I release that and I just hold it once more, and that's my spiral. I'm tying the end, and I will create a couple more just so I have a few to put along. Oh, it's at the bottom. I was showing you, I have them right there down. I was showing you what I did with that one last one. So I'm tying these two with 260Qs. Actually, I cut a 260Q in half and I'm using each piece. That's what's going to allow me to then wrap this around and just put it where I want it to go. Again, reminding you to subscribe. That really supports my channel. I appreciate that so much. I'm trying to see how I can grow my channel this year as much as I can, trying to be more consistent and squeeze in those videos for you guys. So it really helps if you're subscribed and following and watching. Thank you for all the sweet comments. If you have someone graduating this year, let me know in the comments what they're graduating with and what they have. And these, if you pull those spirals out, they straighten up. So be careful how you design with it. All right, I am all done. Hope you like the tutorial. Let me know in the comments below if these are the style of tutorials you like, or do you prefer the voiceovers? Just let me know so I can decide how I want to do certain tutorials over others. I know some people don't like a lot of talking. They just want to go straight to the point. That's fine as well. I've only received a couple of complaints so far, but since I just want to make sure that I'm doing what you guys would like. If you're not subscribed, make sure you're subscribed, and don't forget to click the notification bell. It notifies you when I post a video. So click on that so that you get all the notifications. Thank you so much for your support. I will see you in the next video. Remain blessed.